Hi guys, how you going? Campbell here from Autodidactic Channel. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. And today I found another old book, and it's pretty interesting because it shows a lot of things below ground. And of course this is a bit of a topic at the moment, what's going on below ground in tunnels and things. So I've found this book, and it is called Travel Illustrations from Egypt and Nubia. Publication date 1795. So I thought we'd have a bit of a look-see. Alright, so this is a man with wig-like hair in his portal-shaped frame. And of course we have the scrolling. I'm not sure what this guy's name is. And down here a couple of coins, a bit of a pyramid temple thing here. Okay, so just some drawings. This is the port of Alexandria. So this is 1795, and you can see already that it's a bit of a strange picture, but the whole place is completely built out. Towers, domes, and here come the boat people coming in their ships with their wigs to take over, rediscover the old world civilizations, and to see what, I think they were all out there just, they knew it was all there, and they were just hunting around to find it and to find what was still usable. I mean, look at this little bit here, big tower, 2-3-story building, just literally half in the water, mud everywhere. These look like broken down buildings. This is literally rediscovering places that are still, that are still smashed from the mud flood. As you can see here as well, this is as far as I can get in. But you can see up here, none of this is level. It's just dirt everywhere. There's not a tree in sight up here. It's all, it's all half buried, right on the waterline as well. Looks like this is even inundated with water. And again, so you can see everything. This has been smashed, and like this is literally on the water. This tower, mud and dirt heaped up everywhere. No trees. We have these floreted flags coming in. Okay, so this is an obelisk, and they've actually copied all of the hieroglyphs across. And of course, when you look at hieroglyphs, you do see lots of these chimera type images, which I've covered before. And in this, you'll see this is all flooded, all mudded out. And look at the size of this obelisk. Even that cartouche, it's like the size of these people. A cartouche is just this circular thing, and and then they write someone's name. I think it has to be a name to be a cartouche, but it's this symbol. But of course, this again, very portal-like, isn't it? A few more shots just to show you everything's been smashed, mud everywhere. Some more obelisks. So what does all this mean, I wonder? These look like owls, and so does this. Obviously we've got sun discs and everything everywhere. What I think about a lot is this, is this even from our cycle? Look at the size of them. It's just, I think this is from the previous cycle, all this stuff, and it was just left over and found. And someone knew it had tech, but they just didn't know how to quite get it running properly, or they didn't want to. So they, left it shut down. But obelisks, they're everywhere, all have pyramids on the top of them. Now this shot is very telling. Up here we have ruins. 2-3-story building here. All ruined out. Of course the land's not level. And what do we have down here but lower levels? This looks like brick. this all looks kind of brickish. Got our columns, and it looks like we've got these animals here. So it looks like they're using them to pull people and things up and down. This may be water. I'm not really sure. These could be aqueducts that were buried. Like, how many mud floods, or how, deep was the mud flood in some places? And this is, so they actually got down there. This is like a floor plan. These are all the pillars, and shows you it's an actual big room down there. Plan of Kudayan Reservoir. Well, there you go. It is a reservoir in Alexandria. And there's actually, I've seen this before, there's one in Melbourne as well, pretty similar. And they try and say, yeah, it used to be a reservoir, and then they turn it into an underground car park. So there's actually lots of these around. So I don't know, were they actually built underground as reservoirs? Because obviously underground is easier if you're building big tanks. Or was it buried? Now look at the size of this column. Okay, down here we have a guy and his donkey. And look at the size of this. Not to mention the fact that it's just resting, as you do, on all these broken, blocks. We've got hieroglyphs here, we've got a column, just, rubble, but with this huge column on top. And down here we can see all the hieroglyphs. So how much of this was really lost? Like, if this is before 1800 and there's just stuff like this smashed everywhere, what happened to it all? Here's another shot. I think this is the same column. Look at the size of it. Now, again, we always have these florets at the top. So, I mean, is it a re-facade? We're still not sure. But obviously plant-like, is that indicating that this actually used to be a tree, maybe? Or is it just stylized to look like a tree? Because obviously Wise Up channel, if you haven't checked out Wise Up, go and have a look, like, subscribe, send him some love. Because Wise Up talks about fossilization and about all these buildings actually being carved wood and fossilizing quickly, which could happen through something like a mud flood where there was a sudden influx of minerals and water. So look at the size of that. And I think it's the same pillar because, again, look, it's just resting on all this rubble. And these people are going, oh my God, how's it standing up like that? This guy's going, birds, birds. Don't know what this is. Elon Musk. Satellites, maybe. And here we have a temple. It actually says, my computer's being silly here, but it says it's a catacomb. Plan and section of an underground temple in Necropolis, next to the old port of Alexandria, and which, according to all appearances, will have served as a catacomb because all the surroundings are full of it. It. Don't know what it is. Could be that clown from that 80s movie, so we should be careful here. But this, of course, looking very low in the ground, isn't it? And below here we have the plan of it. As we can see, we've got the circle and these jutting out sort of doorway things. Nice cross. And here we have the doorway with the portico, of course, and the doorway's jutting out. But what's this? Is that a tunnel system? Is that underground? Again, is this just the top of something much bigger, and you can go in and you can then go through tunnels and get to lower levels? Just some shots of some mud flooded devastation that they found, remnants of an old star city. Nice big tower here with a big onion on top. And here you can see they've drawn the plan, and it is a star. And you can see the walls kind of stop and just go off into the ocean, so it looks like there's been a bit of devastation. There's probably quite a bit of stuff under the ocean around here. The Chateau de Boquia. Oh, Nord. I thought I was saying it was for nerds. Again, and this is the thing, this is the scene. We get all the date palms, but what we're given today as a view of Africa, and especially Northern Africa, the Sahara region, is just, sand, desert, small nomadic populations, no industry, no tech, no nothing. But then we have these remains of these huge buildings. Like, these are all towers. I think they might have been smashed down. Another huge tower in the background here. And this actually looks a lot like what we're told are lighthouses. And of course, right on the water's edge again. Another one here with these big, and they're almost like candles, aren't they? These are like very elongated sort of onion domes on the top. And so we've got all this construction, it's mud flooded. It's come through the mud flood and the devastation. It's all still standing, all in good condition. And yeah, we've just got these little boats hanging out in the water. So who built this stuff? Again, nice shot of the city, but yeah, they're pretty cool towers. You can see it's just like a viewing platform like they have on skyscrapers too, what they call, high-rise skyscrapers and lighthouses. Nice dome as you do, bit of antiquitech here, sitting on pillars. Nice. Just in the middle of nowhere on the water's edge. This is just a wide view. Look at all these pillars. And look, they're like they've got these sectioned off bits on them. So they're not trees, they're proper pillars. More down here. Look at that. Quite antiquitechy looking up. It's as far as I can get in. But look at them all. More. And look at this place. See how many domes are in there? Like in this sort of walled off bit. Pillars and a dome in the middle. I wonder if that was a setup with 4 pillars and a dome, because that might be the 4th. Interesting. So I mean, look at all these pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, just there. And then this is all been a bit smashed, and here we have the pyramids. Okay, what do we have here? So this is pretty interesting. So again, 1795. So back then they did have fireworks. These look like fireworks. Look at all these towers. Almost reminds me of that picture that John Levi showed. Can't remember the city, but it was back from the 1600s, and he showed this star city that was absolutely full of towers like this. I mean, look at them all, and they're almost like totem poles. Again, I can't get in any further, sorry. Yeah, look at them all. See how they've all got antiquitechy bits at the top. They've all got these, rounded off bits. I mean, what are they? Are they like resistors and capacitors and things? Because the way to collect, free ethereal energy or atmospheric energy is from high in the sky. That's why they all have towers pushing up and spires and aerials in the sky. Yeah, gosh, I wish I could get in further on this pic. So we've got all these people coming in, old world construction here, and someone's setting off some fireworks. Okay, so yeah, these again are the sort of pics I wanted to show you. So here we have a wall. It's obviously this is in Egypt or Africa, North Africa, and how's this wall and this turret? It looks just like what we're told are European medieval castles. It has this big, I don't know if that's a tank or a room on top of this shaft, and as you can see, a big wheel here, and we've got cables going down. And how many floors have we got? Like, seriously, and it shows you here there's stairs that go down and down. So no doubt these It's probably wrapping around, going right down. I mean, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 stories underground, guys. And that's that's without this. Oh my God. And this is mapped. The plan to Putzi Joseph the Grand Kaya. What does Kaya mean, I wonder? So here we have the wheel. Okay, so this must be a top view. So we've got the wheel here, we've got the stairwell, must go down and around there, and this is how you get in. Plan of the interior, yeah. But yeah, so look, we've got this chain coming down on the wheel, it loops down here, and then I'm not sure what's going on, but there's a second, maybe that's another cog system, and another chain going down. So what are they pulling up? What's this for? So what was it? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. 20 stories underground. In Egypt, in the Sahara, 1795. So, you know, how much is down there? You know, I've been thinking a lot about, you know, because obviously this is in the current zeitgeist, you know, this whole, everything that's going on below us, you know, hell is supposed to be below us. And what I'm hearing about what they're finding is it seems like hell is literally below us. Did the old world get covered up, and the parasites sort of took that bit over to hide out in, and then they slowly came up and started trying to take over the top as well. So it's like in their doctrine, they're trying to make it as above, so below. Look at this. So here we have the water. Okay, we've got our you know, port commission building here with steps going straight into the water, because that's what you do. And in fact, I've seen steps going into the water a lot now I think about it. You know, before I was looking at the world the way I look at it now. So, you know, why and how? You know, what do they do? How do they get the cement down in the water and build that up when there's water? Just for a stairwell, I don't think they're going to go to all the trouble of building false walls and things. But I digress. So here we have the wall. These are like the towers we saw before that went down 20 levels. It went down 10 levels and then went off and down another 10. Got a wheel here, chains, and look, that's only like one story. That's a doorway on the water. So what's underneath this? Oh, so this is some kind of manufacturing. Are they cutting out sandstone? It doesn't. It looks like they're more to do with water, because we've got this water here. I'm just looking at this wall, how cut that looks. Okay, so maybe it said that they were reservoirs, so this might be a pump to pull water up from the reservoirs beneath, which would be a handy thing if the, you know, the place you're living in was drying out. And she looks to be collecting water in a bucket. Oh, and look at this, yet more pictures. So here we have the humble cow walking around in circles, acting like chattel, while he's actually turning these big cogs. Now this is water down here, and it looks like it's pumping it out somewhere. So this isn't like a well, this is pushing it maybe to a fountain or something. They've just lost the tech to drive it with free energy, so they hook up a cow to it. Why not? Okay, again, showing us what lies beneath. And this is known, this is talked about. This is, I think I've seen fairly recent pictures of a couple of stories under here. Is it called the Necropolis? Is that right? I never get these. Every time I say Necropolis, because necro means dead, right? And then you get Metropolis. So what's Opolis? A place, a city of the dead, Necropolis? I should look that up, shouldn't I? But yeah, just look at this. We've got, you know, completely covered in hieroglyphs. And what are these? Are these I'm not sure if they're heads or if they're stylized goblets or, columns, whatever they are. I mean, obviously they're columns to hold up the roof, but look at the size of this, right? Look at the height of this column compared to this two-story house. It's pretty big, and look, this is just completely smashed on top. We've got domes and things, but just smashed. And then down here we've got this huge area, and there's a floor plan. And again, they always build it like this, don't they, with the columns in the middle. We know they didn't have to because of the cathedrals and things and the flying buttresses that they use. So why all the columns? Why always, in this formation? It's exactly the same as the Parthenon and other buildings. Other Parthenons, there's definitely other Parthenons around, other very similar buildings. So yeah, it's interesting how they've drawn it too, just the top of a massive temple coming out of the ground. And at some stage, someone's come along and built a village on a city on the top. That's just mad. Again, this looks like a floor plan. We have a vase, ruins, Tetris, Tenterus. Again, all the columns and the rooms, and then don't even know what that is. Entree, ABCD, quarter entree, apartments at 4 and 5. Oh wow, okay, so we've got apartments. Don't know what entrees are. These two seem to be blocked off. Separate passageways, doors, colonnade columns, apartments. Interesting. And here again we have this theme of, water on each side. This looks like a man-made structure because this looks like they've drawn brick in. Bits popping out the top, and these towers that seem to be going down to reservoirs. So it looks like they may have had a complete sort of water system underground. I'm thinking Dune, if you've seen the movie Dune, where the same thing, they're in the desert. No water, but they have these massive underground water tanks and reservoirs. And this is what this is looking like. Let's look at that. That looks like a building. See? And of course, we can't end a show on Egypt and what lies beneath without talking about the Sphinx and the Hall of Records. And I found this picture. This was just labelled the Hall of Records, and this is pretty much exactly what we were looking at before, under the ground with all the mud flooded buildings on top. And they're linking this with the Hall of Records. So what really is underneath Egypt and the Sphinx and the pyramids? Because of course we have all these legends of the Hall of Records that were left by Thoth or Thoth, the Atlantean, who of course became Hermes Trismegistus and a range of other people. Also Edgar Cayce, the Sleeping Prophet, talked a lot about the Hall of Records, and I actually found a depiction, layout of temples and passages under the Sphinx. It doesn't say Hall of Records, but same thing. It says that there's these big colonnaded rooms underneath the ground under the Sphinx. Got steps coming down, an entranceway. This is a circular, what does it say? Circular temple. Shafts everywhere. And this is all being covered over. This bit. This says down here, rock and sand filling. And this is all the bedrock or the previous ground level. So was the Sphinx actually sitting up on top of some kind of temple? This in position lies as the sun rises from the waters. The line of the shadow falls between the paws of the Sphinx that was later set as the sentinel or guard. The Temple of Records that lie just beyond the enigma that still is the mystery of mysteries. And I'm guessing that's from the Emerald Tablets. And this is Thoth, and you will notice his ibis head. And Thoth was, of course, known as a great magician, and as I mentioned before, was supposed to be an Atlantean, so he's come over from a previous civilization, and known with the ibis head. And he was the person who ended up, I guess, transforming themselves into a place where, they just kept on reincarnating. They didn't actually die. And his latest incarnation that I know of was actually Saint Germain. And Saint Germain, of course, there's money, is one of the things that is mentioned as the money for Nasara Jasara. So lots of links there. And this pic was actually labelled as Hall of Records. Of course, we don't know if it is. Looks like a crypt of some kind, underground. And again, this was this above ground at some time, because it's just got this sand and rubble in here. It looks very, very ancient. Could have been some kind of holding room. So what is underneath Egypt? Another thing that I saw probably 4 years ago were some videos from New Earth Channel and Sylvia. And if you haven't checked out her work, please do so. Go and subscribe. She's basically the one who woke me to the whole Tartaria mud flood thing years and years ago. But yeah, she had a video of the Sahara, and she actually showed old dams and rivers that were completely dried up just in the middle of the Sahara. And I have tried to, because I actually had all the coordinates too. They were on the video and I had them all. They've all been blurred over now by Google. But if anyone does have them or the link to that video, please let me know. Leave it in the comments. So there we go. This is Egypt. What lies beneath Egypt? What's really down there? We're told it's one of the oldest civilizations in the world and all this weird stuff. How old is it really? What was it really like? Was it up and functioning a couple of 100 years ago? This is the thing that we don't know. And what about the fact that it's a desert and we know that it used to be a tropical rainforest? Now we saw that picture with the canals and things. Obviously that may not have been in the middle of the Sahara, but leads questions, and the oases that we find everywhere, and of course just the destruction and all the destroyed cities and temples that are under the sand that we know about. So a lot going on in Egypt and the Sahara, Northern Africa. So I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Just a little bit of a dig. Thanks for spending some time with me, and I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.